Hey viewers, myself Syed Muhammad Saif. Welcome to my channel Guidance Science, and today's topic is differentiation. The differentiation is a very basic concept and phenomenon, as you may say, or a principle in the mathematics, broadly known as mathematics and calculus. It is a main branch of the two in the calculus, and differential equations are also very popular because of the use of differentiation and integration. And differentiation has a vast application in the field of velocity, relative motion, relativity, temperature gradient, waves, and more. So how the differentiation is so important and what are its applications? But before answering that, I would like to answer what is differentiation at first, because the differentiation is so complex as the students may see, but it's quite simple and very intuitive approach towards any change with respect to one quantity or change of one quantity with respect to other. First, differentiation is change of values of the equation with respect to its variable. That is, if the equation is y is equal to x or f of x equal to some equation in the variable of x, therefore the derivative, or when we differentiate f of x, the value we get is delta or d of f of x divided by d of x. That is the change, the rate, or in the common sense, the rate of change of f of x with respect to the rate of change of x. The d here indicates the small neighborhood we take. When we define any variable, we also define the equation at first, that is a quiet neighborhood defined, and we define limits, derivative, or primitive in that neighborhood. And in the case of differentiation, we first take the left hand of that point and then see the behavior of points in that neighborhood and the right hand neighborhood and see the behavior, and by joining the 3 points, the three most consecutive points, we get aligned, and that's what the slope is. And the value of the slope of the line is known as the derivative at that point. That is the slope, the angle formed by a slope is theta, then the value of the derivative will be tan theta. As you have known, the curve does not have a very straight structure, it is curvy. That's why, because it's called curve, so it is not possible to find by simple geometry the angle or the slope of the line forming at each instance. Yes, it is not possible to find out just the slope of the function or the line, or it is impossible at some extent to draw the line formed by a slope when it's changing point to point. So what to do? We use this approach called differentiation. As I have defined, it takes the behavior of the points in right hand neighborhood as well as the left hand neighborhood and see the behavior, join the line, not geometrically but algebraically, or by differentiating it, as we can say. So then how the differentiated equation is formed? Yes, because by differentiating one function we get another function, and the function does not have quite similar value. That is, the function does not have a constant value, and that's true because at each point in space for a curve which is not straight, there exists a unique value for every point. The value could be similar, as in the case of sine. The values of the derivative on the point 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, and positive integral multiple of pi are equal. That's 0. So it could be same, equal, and it could be constant in some interval. And yes, that's why we define differential derivative in particular interval, because if the function is defined differently in different interval, then their derivative must be defined differently in different interval, and that value of the derivative of that function is particularly defined in that interval also. And by differentiating an equation, the domain does not changes. And yes, it is also quite good to note that the derivative may not exist at some point or in the domain itself. This derivative will not exist outside the domain of that point. That's simple enough to understand. But let's see how we can apply the derivative. First of all, we can apply the derivative to find out the value of tangent, because when we see the slope of the line of the curve, then we could quite regularly or quite surely say that it's tangent, because if we have to find out a line which is unique to that point on a curve and does not contains a similar characteristic for another point on that curve, so that's tangent. Let us understood by an example. If we take a circle and we drew a tangent at one point, then that tangent is not a tangent for any other point on that circle, and the tangent is uniquely defined as the normal is also uniquely defined, because we can easily define tangent with respect to normal, not quite always, but we can define normal with respect to tangent quite always. So that's the first two application. Then what is the other application of derivative? First, derivative is a function and the function changes its value with different values of variable, and also the function by which to which we have differentiated, that also changes its value with respect to the variable. So by differentiating the equation again, can we find out the rate of change of the slope of the function that previously existed? Yes, we can. We can differentiate it quite often. And now we come to the third main application of the derivative, that is finding the critical points. Suppose there is a third degree polynomial and we have to find out the points at which its behavior changes. The first approach should be finding the points at which the slope of the function becomes 0, that is f dash x becomes 0, and that's quite the similar how we get the values, because the value, if we are assuming that f dash x equal to 0, then that means the slope of the function at that point, that is x1 and x2 in our case, should be 0. That means the slope or the tangent at that point on the curve should be parallel to x-axis. That means at that point the particle or the point on the curve should change its behavior. That is, if it is previously increasing, then at that point the the behavior changes and it started decreasing, or else if the function is decreasing, at that point, that is the critical point, the behavior changes and it starts to increase. And so by that method we can find out the critical points. So if the critical points are alpha and beta, then the alpha and beta are the roots of the equation of the derivative. And as in our example, there is a tertiary or third degree polynomial and its derivative is second degree polynomial, and we know that in a third degree polynomial there could be one critical point, there could be two critical point or no critical point, because if the graph has only one critical point, then it will decrease and does not exceed, and that's a graphical, we can prove it graphically. Yes. And now we observe what the derivative is a second degree polynomial, and the second degree polynomial could have two roots, one root, or zero root. Yes, if the polynomial has one root, then the critical point is 1, but that's not true because it can't go reverse in that way. Therefore the derivative should not have equal zeros. The two cases are possible. First, no root should exist. Second, two unique roots should exist, and that's another point. And that's it for differentiation. We have got numerous applications in the field of motion, like finding the velocity, acceleration, and in the field of temperature by finding the temperature gradient, in the field of optics by finding the angle or the angle of refraction, reflection, whatsoever, and in relativity, finding the relative motion or gamma. In waves, by finding the velocity of the point of the waves or the velocity of wave and whole, and various fields that you can't imagine. And thanks to Newton for giving us that equation. Thank you. Myself Syed Mohammad Saif. Like, subscribe, share this video if you want to, and be safe.